Well, hello everybody. It's me, Perfectly Pamela, and I am here for another injection of my tirzepatide GLP-1 medication. I am still on the 2.5 milligrams. I am trying to ride that out as long as possible so I can make this stretch as far as I can. So we're gonna get into the injection and then we'll sit down and talk about how my week went. Let me just get everything out. I've got my medication here. I've got my syringe and alcohol pads. Wash my hands. All right, so this is my fourth injection. I am still doing 2.5 milligrams. I'm going to ride that out as long as I can, as long as it seems like it is suppressing my appetite. And so far this week has been up and down. We'll talk about that after I do the injection, but I'm just cleaning off the top and take the plunger cap off, then take the needle cap off, and I'm gonna put the needle straight down in, turn it over, and draw out my 15 units. As you see right there, I've got 15 units. And I'm gonna set this down here and clean off my injection site. And let's see, I started right lower abdomen, left lower abdomen, right upper abdomen. So today, get y'all here, today is going to be left upper abdomen. So right here. And just grab that. That one kind of hurt. Never really hurt before. Let's see. Let's try again. There we go. That's better. And we're all done. So I'm gonna get all of this cleaned up, and I know I should not have just recapped that, but I did. I'm gonna put it in my sharps container. I'm gonna get all this cleaned up, and then I'll be back. All right, I am back. It's actually been a couple of days since my injection. I'm intended to sit down and talk about my week right after my injection and cleaning up, but of course, life happens. So before I get into whether or not I lost over the past week, I want to talk a little bit about the week. So last Friday, the 6th, when I took that injection, the next day, my friend and I went out of town to meet up with another friend. We have an annual Christmas Secret Santa gift exchange that we do. And so this year was our year to travel to Austin to meet our friend out there. And so we got up real early in the morning, drove out there. My friend who lives in Austin had a full day planned for us. We went to brunch. They had drinks at brunch. I did not. I had a Coke Zero. But I did fully go into the weekend intending that I was not going to limit myself as far as if I wanted something, I was going to have it. I was just going to limit my quantities. So I ordered for brunch. I didn't feel like eating breakfast food at the time, and they had the place that we went to had a buffalo chicken sandwich. So I ended up getting that. I ate half of that. It came with sweet potato fries. So I ate a few of those. Oh no, they were actually sweet potato tater tots, and they were delicious. So I did eat a few of those. We had some fried pickles for an appetizer. I did have one of those, and I was stuffed. I had a taste of my friend's dessert. She got a banana pudding, so I just tasted that. But other than that, that was all that I ate for brunch. When we got to our hotel and checked in and we went downstairs, they have what's called a swim club there at the hotel. And so we did get a drink there. I got a shark out of water, I think it was called. Had a hard time finishing that drink, but I did finish it. Then we went to a basketball game. We went to a restaurant afterwards, and we just got a couple of appetizers there because we were going to dinner after. So we went to the restaurant. I just got some truffle fries and didn't really eat a whole lot of those because I was still I was hungry, but I really didn't have much of an appetite, and I really wanted to save my appetite for dinner since I knew this wasn't going to be dinner. I did get a drink there, but I ended up not drinking it. I gave it to one of my friends. I took a few sips out of it, and it was good. I just didn't want it. So then we went to dinner. We went to a Mexican restaurant, and I got a quesadilla and ended up only eating like one little triangle out of the quesadilla. I took the rest with me thinking, oh, I'll put it in the refrigerator back at the hotel and then bring it home with me tomorrow, which is the same that I did with the other half of my chicken sandwich. We were supposed to go to one more bar afterwards, but by this time we were all pretty tired. It was only around 8 o'clock at night, but we were exhausted. We had been on our feet most of the day. Of course, me and the other friend that drove into town had gotten up around 5 a.m. So we were tired. And then it could have been because the injection does tend to give me some fatigue. So I was exhausted. So we went back to the hotel. We did our gift exchange. That was fun. And then we did go back down to the bar at the hotel. I didn't get anything else to drink. The next morning we went to brunch. This would be Sunday morning. We went to brunch and I ended up getting a chicken fried steak, some mashed potatoes, and broccoli. I ate maybe half of the chicken fried steak, maybe half of the plate, and ended up bringing the rest home with me back to Houston. I really didn't eat a whole lot. I didn't get a drink there. They did have mimosas, but we all just ordered, I ordered a Coke Zero. So pretty much for the weekend, I really didn't overdo it. I didn't think. But of course, when I got back home and got on the scale, I had gone back up a couple of pounds. I think the week before my weight was 188.6 because I was right at 8 pounds lost. So 188.6 was my weigh-in that week. Monday, when I got on the scale, I was 191.8, I believe. I was a little disappointed in that, but I know weight goes up and down, it fluctuates, and I did enjoy myself, so I'm taking it with a grain of salt. So Monday I did go to the doctor. I had my annual checkup. They did all my blood work. My blood work was okay. I did have a couple of labs that were a little abnormal, mainly just my potassium. I have to take a potassium supplement now. And the doctor said it could be because along with my blood pressure medication, I take triamterene hydrochlorothiazide, which is basically a water pill, which helps you eliminate excess water, and that can bring down your potassium. So now she wants me to take a potassium supplement, which I don't know. I told my daughter this, and she said that her fiance was like, so you got to take one pill because you're taking another pill. Why can't you just stop taking the other pill? And I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. But I guess because it helps keep the excess water off, I'm just gonna go with it for now, and we'll see how this goes. If my potassium levels don't come up, then I may talk to her about coming off of the triamterene. I did have a little heart irregularity. I did do an ECG that was normal, but she did tell me that I need to eliminate stress. Like, that can really happen. Just kind of monitor if I'm having shortness of breath and if I'm getting any kind of chest pains to make sure that I go to the emergency room, all that good stuff. So, yeah, it was an interesting week. As far as symptoms, I did notice on, like I said, Saturday, I was kind of tired, but it could have been the travel. It could have been the medication. I'm not really sure. On Monday, I did have some fatigue. Again, it could just be from the travel, just getting back. You know, after you take a vacation, you usually take a day to recuperate. And I did have some nausea. Now, of course, I did fast most of Monday because I knew I was getting my lab works at the doctor's office, and I wanted to make sure they were fasting labs, and my appointment wasn't until 3 o'clock, which normally 3 o'clock fasting until then would have been a real struggle for me, but it actually wasn't that bad. And I know that was the medication. There's no way I could have gone till 3 p.m. without eating anything and, you know, not had a severe headache, not been just thinking everything that I'm going to eat afterwards. So it was actually fairly easy to fast up until that day. Now, I will say that I did stay in bed most of the morning. I got up, I think I got up pretty early and fed the dogs and let them out, all that good stuff. And then I got some water and I took my blood pressure medicine. And then I just kind of laid in bed watching TV and tried to take another nap around 10 a.m. And I don't know if I dozed off, I might have. But anyway, so for the most part, it was easy to fast on Monday. Afterwards, I thought that I would be just ravenous and come home and eat everything in sight. But I didn't. I came home and I did make lunch. I don't even remember what I made. I think I had a factor meal in the freezer that I ended up putting in the microwave. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I did. And so had lunch, and then I think I was good for the rest of the day. Tuesday, my symptoms, I did have some restlessness that Monday night, Tuesday morning. It was kind of hard to sleep. I'm sorry. I think I got something in my eye and it is bothering me. So, okay. So I did have a hard time sleeping Monday night, Tuesday morning, but I managed. Tuesday, went back to work, and I woke up. I remember I woke up with a really severe headache on Tuesday because I remember telling my coworker that I might log out for the day or at least take like a long lunch or something, but that I had taken some some Excedrin and was hoping that would knock it out. And it did. I did end up working throughout the day, didn't have a problem. I was a little nauseous on Tuesday, and it might have been because I really didn't have much of an appetite. So I do feel like it's still, even on the 2.5, that it's still suppressing my appetite for the most part, especially in the morning. Now, when we get to the evenings, that's when I'm starting to hear some of the food noise coming back. So I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to go up in dosage. But Thursday, I was really stressed out. And of course, I got all my lab results Wednesday. And with my ECG, I mean, I'm happy that it's normal, but at the same time, this is not the first time that I had the same issue when I went to the doctor, and she's like, I hear something going on with your heart. We need to do an ECG, and the ECG was completely normal. And the last time was back in 2018. So in my mind, I was almost expecting to see something in the ECG. And I'm not ungrateful. Trust me, I'm very happy that it's normal, but at the same time, it's almost like, what is causing it? So it would almost be like, at least if we knew what was causing it, then maybe we could work for a treatment, but we don't know what's causing it. So basically the only thing that I can do is try to eliminate as much stress as possible, which again has been very hard. My job has been very, very, very stressful lately. I've been there for 18 years, and this is the most stress that I've ever been under in this job, or at this job, because I've changed roles over the years. And to the point where I've seriously considered just flat out quitting, looking for another position, looking for another job outside the company. It's just been very stressful. That's a whole nother story. So Thursday, I ended up, I was really stressed out when I woke up and just wasn't having a good day. So I ended up telling my boss I needed to leave for the day, which I work from home, so technically not leaving. But I told her I needed to log out for the day and that I was just too stressed to deal with work that day, and she understood. And so I logged out. And then I did go back to work on Friday. Friday, again, would be my shot day this week. So as you've seen earlier in the video, I did do my injection. I did it in my upper abdomen. And what I thought was interesting is I had somebody comment on one of my videos and ask the question, on a scale of 1 to 10, truthfully, how painful is the injection? And I'm like, oh my God, it's a 0. It's really nothing at all. You feel like a little bitty prick. And I have a fairly high tolerance to pain, I believe. At least in my mind, I feel like I do. I don't, flinch when they take blood or whatever. I mean, I feel like I have a pretty good tolerance to pain. So for me, what I consider not painful at all might be painful to somebody else. But when I took my injection this Friday, I did it in my right upper abdomen. And that was the first time that it actually kind of hurt sticking the needle in. Now, I don't feel the medication when I actually inject the medication. That doesn't feel like anything at all. No pain, no burning, no nothing. It's just the prick of the needle going through the skin. And normally it's absolutely the minimal pain, the slightest pain possible. This time it kind of hurt, and I actually had to, before it even pierced the skin, I had to pull the needle back and say, that's interesting. So then I had to kind of readjust and stick it in again, and it was kind of painful sticking it in this time. But I would still say on a scale of 1 to 10, pain-wise, probably a 3, 4 at the most. It wasn't severe pain. It wasn't like I cut open my abdomen or anything like that. So I'm still doing the 2.5 dose. My prescription actually says that this last injection should have been the 5 milligram dose. But my intention, and even talking with my nurse practitioner who prescribed it, said that, you don't have to titrate up if the dosage is working for you. So as far as weight loss this past week, I weighed in at 187.4, which was another 1.5 pounds total. I've lost 9.5 pounds since starting. I've just taken my 4th injection, so I've been on it for 3 full weeks. So this is my 4th week that we're coming into. So in 3 weeks, I've lost 9.5 pounds, which I'm very happy with. Before that, I had been stuck at around 195, give or take a few, for the longest months. And I just could not budge from there. And so I'm very happy. I'm down in the 180s still. And if I consider that I did go back up to 191 by Monday and then came down, I really lost a few pounds over the week. I did decide that I'm going to start tracking my weight daily, not because I need to see what the scale says, but because I want to have a real clear picture of what this weight loss actually looks like. It's not a clear linear downward motion. I go down, I go up. I go down, I go up. I go down more, I go up a little bit. I go down more, I go up a little bit. So it's not just one straight clear path. And I want people to understand that if you're getting on these injections, don't think that you're just going to straight lose 50 pounds, without ever going back up. There's going to be hills and there's going to be valleys. There's going to be challenges. Each day is something new, is what I'm finding. And the medication is not an end all be all. It's not going to just make the weight magically disappear. The medication helps you manage those cravings. It helps you make better choices. And that's what I'm using it for. And I think if you go into it with that intention, then you'll be successful. Now, in my mind, I think that I will need to be on this medication for the rest of my life. Some people may get on it, think that they can manage their weight on their own after they get down to their goal weight and be able to come off of it. I may try that. I don't know. I will probably, in my mind, what I see this coming out in the end is that I will maybe take a dose once a month. And that will help me sustain my goal weight without having to go back up, without gaining again after I come off. And that's another thing that I did talk to my doctor about, because she's looked at my weight for the past years. I've been with this clinic, now for 8 years. I go to Kelsey-Seybold Clinic. So I've been with them, even though it's not been with the same doctor the entire time. I've been there at that same office for the last 8 years. So she was able to look at all my medical records, and she can see where I was at 240, where I was down at 165, where I went back up to 230, where I went back down to 170. So she said that can almost be more detrimental than being at a higher weight, is the going back up and down, because of the stress that it puts on your body. So my goal is to make this the last time that I have to try to lose weight. And my goal is to be consistent and make better choices, make better habits, and use this medication as a source to help me, or a resource to help me make those better decisions, so that ultimately I can manage my weight better with less medication, if not getting off it completely eventually. So again, this Friday I did the 2.5. my thought process is that I am going to see how this week goes. And if the food noise is, I feel like it's not being managed as well as it could be, then I will go ahead and move up to the 5 milligrams. If I have not lost any weight this week and the food noise is still kind of there, then I will go ahead and titrate up to the 5 milligram dose. If I feel like throughout this week, the remainder of this week, that the food noise has been pretty much manageable and I still see at least a 1 pound loss this week, then I will stay at the 2.5. So we'll see how the rest of this week goes. So that is it for this week. I will be back next week with an update and we'll see if I will be titrating up at the end of this week or not. So until then, if you liked this video and you want to keep up with me on my journey, then hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. And don't forget to hit the like button because that would really help me grow my channel. And I will see you guys next week. Have a good one.